I was thinking about Christmas and what I wanted to share with you. And if we're honest, when we think about Christmas, I think we usually think about the shepherds and the angels and the star and Bethlehem and the wise men. But very seldom, if ever, do we consider the wise women of Christmas. And I think that's where I want to kind of land today to share with you is about three wise women. Wise woman number one, Elizabeth. She was married to Zacharias, and in Luke chapter 1, we find out that they were righteous, they loved the Lord, but they had been unable to have children. And no matter how good life was for Elizabeth, she lived with a heartache. She had waited and waited patiently to have children, and up to this point, it just hadn't happened to her. What gift did she bring to God? She brought her heart's desire. I know as I look out to you that many of you women live with heartaches and disappointments and unanswered prayers. And you're getting tired of waiting, and waiting is hard. Laments 3:25 reminds us, the Lord is good to those who wait for him. Well, one day, an angel appeared to Zacharias and he told him, you and Elizabeth are going to have a baby. And at long last, their prayer was going to be answered. Can I just say to you today, to be a wise woman like Elizabeth was, be patient, wait for God's timing, wait for him to answer your heart's cry. Wise woman number two, Mary. Of course, Mary. We know that she was young. She was a teenager. She had all of life ahead of her. And if she's like most young women, she had her life planned out. She was going to marry Joe. She was going to have a wonderful wedding that probably involved the whole village. Then she was going to go on a sweet honeymoon, and then they would settle down in their new home and eventually have a family. Well, here comes that angel again. And this time he says to Mary, Mary, don't be afraid. God has a plan for you, and you're going to give birth to the Messiah. Now, I'm sure God's plan was a little bit different than what Mary had on her mind. Nonetheless, Mary gave up her plan, and she willingly surrendered her idea and her plan to the Lord. What was her gift? Her will. At the feet of Jesus, she laid her will and her plans, and she basically said, God, I'm all in. I want what you have for my life, and she trusted him. Proverbs 16:9 tells us we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. And I know for many of you, life over the past year or two has been very unpredictable, and certainly your plans have been interrupted. Maybe put on hold, or like Mary, completely changed. Relax. Be a wise woman like Mary and trust God. He has a plan for your life, even when it doesn't make sense. And finally, wise woman number 3 is Anna. She's mentioned in Luke also, chapter 2, in just 3 short verses. Anna was married when she was young, and something happened, and after 7 years of marriage, her husband passed away. Anna lived with disappointment. What did she do? Instead of becoming bitter, she becomes better, and she dedicates her life to being a blessing to God's people. So what was her gift? Her disappointment. She took her disappointment to the Lord, and lo and behold, no angel this time. She sees Jesus face to face. She meets Jesus as a baby, and her disappointment turns into a divine appointment with God, and her life is never the same. She beholds Jesus. And I think if we will be wise women this Christmas and give our disappointments to the Lord and give our will to the Lord and give our entire life to the Lord, our unanswered prayers, all of those things, that we're going to behold Jesus in a whole new way. If Anna could speak to us, I think she would say, be a wise woman and trust God. Elizabeth and Mary would say the same thing because they learned that it's always more beautiful and greater with the Lord and going His way than trying to go our own. So there you have it, the 3 wise women of Christmas. May you find encouragement in their example, and may I just tell you, put Christ above all else this Christmas, and you will be blessed. God bless you. Have a great Christmas.